I know football season has just kicked off and we're getting after it here with some NCAA and NFL. But today, let's get back to some baseball. Season's not over yet and we're getting into crunch time. Today, I like this game here between the Toronto Blue Jays and the Atlanta Braves to go under the total. I think we have an underrated pitching matchup here. I understand Toronto, great hitting team, never easy going under the total whenever they're one of the teams in a matchup. But today, I like this one. So I'm going to take under the total of 8 between these two teams. Odds makers came out with that number. It hasn't really moved a lot. The good thing about taking the under as I make this webcast is you can still get some plus money on it. That's always good for me, always good value on a game that I think is going to be lower than people expect. Let's go ahead, let's talk about these pitchers. Let's break down some numbers. For Toronto, you got Mark Burley, having a really good year, 15-year veteran. He comes in, 3.72 ERA, 1.21 whip, 80 strikeouts, 14-7 on the year, and he has just been steady, just an anchor, he's a tough-handed left-handed pitcher, doesn't strike a lot of guys out. He's just been great for his career, and I imagine he's going to pitch well today. He's facing one of the worst offenses in the major leagues, if not the worst, so I look for him to have a good, solid game, maybe give up a couple runs here or there, but really not a lot to get us over this total of 8. For the Braves, this is going to be a key figure if we're going to get under that total, and this is Julio Teheran. He's going to be important. Now, he hasn't had a great year, but he can be hot and cold at times. So far this season, he comes in 4.38 ERA, 1.32 whip, 147 strikeouts. He's 10-7 on the year, but at home, his ERA drops to 3.24, and batters are only hitting 212 against him. He's a good major league pitcher. He's having an off year. I look for him to be focused in against arguably, well, not really arguably, they're the major league's best offense. And let's talk about them. Toronto, they're ranked first in everything. They're just awesome. All right. Toronto comes in so far this season. They're ranked first in runs scored per game at 5.52. They're first in OPS. They're fifth in batting average, hitting around 267 in his team. They're just awesome, up and down the lineup. Now Tulowitzki's out, so that might hurt him a little bit. But also when they play away from Toronto, their stats go down just a little bit. Their OPS drops 70 points, and they go from hitting around 279 in Toronto down to around 255, 256 on the road. So go ahead and look for them to maybe struggle a little bit against a really good pitcher in Toronto. Toronto's not immune from only scoring just a couple of runs. Now let's talk about Atlanta not having a good year at all. Polar opposite of Toronto. They rank last in the league in runs scored per game. They also rank last in OPS at .673. They're 21st in batting average, hitting 251. They hit a little bit better in Atlanta in some categories, but overall, just not really a strong offense. I like for Burley to go ahead, have a nice day. They might get a couple, but I don't think they're going to get a lot. I'm looking at a final around 42, maybe something like that. Definitely under this total. All right, so that's going to be my under the total play in Major League Baseball today. Under the total between the Blue Jays and the Braves. Look for an underrated pitching matchup between these guys, and I wish you luck on your plays of the day.